Mount Panorama Rip at Dusk. Hello there everybody and welcome to OpenFed Gaming. You're listening to the OpenFed. We're driving a Chevy Camaro Super Tourer in our semi-pro season. We're in a Super Tourer's finale round 3 event and we're driving at the Mount Panorama Circuit. We're doing 3 laps and we're driving at dusk. It says clear skies, but I do see a bunch of clouds up there. And we start at 22nd of 22. Now, these laps are fairly decent length, so they're going to take a little bit of time to complete. And on this particular track, there are 3 awesome straight stretches. Now, that's more than enough to pass cars. So when you're in a section like you're in right now, where you're going around corners and you can't see where anybody is, best thing to do is to try and maintain your spot in the group and just follow the car in front of you. Don't even bother trying to pass them. It's really difficult. It can be done, but why bother? You've got 3 laps. You're only halfway through the first, so we've got lots of time. There's no point in running into the walls or running into other cars, so I figure have a little patience. Stay behind these guys, okay? Now, this part coming up is my least favorite part in the track, okay? And I always tend to slow down quite a bit, starting right here, going back and forth. Ooh, and then I get tagged from behind every once in a while. But I find it really hard to go back and forth, even though I drive with the steering wheel at home, and I tend to go a little bit slower and cars catch up to me. So then when you come around the corner and you start back down the mountain, around this slight bend, there's a fairly decent lengthy straight stretch where if you can catch them napping, if they're not blocking you out, you should be able to catch 2 or 3 cars. And once you're done with this first section here, there's a slight curve to the right. Now you have to wait until you're at the bottom of the track, because it goes back and forth again, and at the speed that you're driving, there's just no way to make a nice clean pass. So when you get down to the bottom here, it curves to the left, and as soon as you curve to the left, if you can get up right behind these guys, and as it curves to the left, cut on the inside, you got a nice straight section again where you can maybe get 1 or 2 cars depending upon how fast they're going. Then when you come to the end of the section here and you wind back up, as this is our second lap, you can see there's that straight section again. So lots of places where it's easy, well, not easy, if you have the speed, lots of places where there's an opportunity to pass. And the further you get to the front of the pack, the easier it gets, because the harder it is for them to block you out. I always love it when they try to block you out. Sometimes they make it look real obvious when there's only 1 car on the road and you're catching up to them, and you wait to one side of the track and the car starts to veer over to the same side that you're on, trying to stop you from passing, and it starts to look a little bit obvious. But when there's 2 or 3, they can block you out pretty successfully and you can't go nowhere. Like right here, they're blocking me out, but then I don't want to pass them here anyhow, because like I said, we want to wait till we come back down the mountain. We're in 9th position. We're halfway through the race. We've only got 8 cars to pass, so we're sitting pretty good. This Camaro is an absolute dream to drive on these tracks. It feels almost a little heavier than some of the other cars. That's just what it seems like, but it seems to respond better, I suppose. Maybe that's what it is. You know, and it just very enjoyable to drive a vehicle that responds to what you're trying to do. So it's a great car to drive, and if you have the opportunity to give it a chance, you should do it. As we're coming around the corner here and we're heading back down the mountain, like I said, now we get the opportunity, if we, there again, you can still get blocked in, as I'm getting right now, but we got to get by these guys. See, and he was trying to move over and block me out again, but I was a little too quick. Now this is Grid Legends, and a little bit of bumping and rubbing is okay. Somebody blew an engine up there, which is always difficult because anything can happen in Grid Legends. but it makes it really hard to see where he is. Oh, there he is on the left-hand side of the track. Sometimes they'll lose a tire, and sometimes they'll spin out or flip. So you always got to be ready and pay attention and be aware of what they can do. Grid Legends is a little bit more, how should I say it, of a physical type of racing game. So just be prepared for that. I always like to try and drive as clean as possible. For me, that's more fun. Now we got to get by this guy. We're in third place, so we're in our last lap. See how he comes out. He just came right over to the one side. So I think, okay, let's just be done with it and get by these guys, because I'm tired of them trying to block me out. So once you get ahead of him, all you got to do is just be aware of driving a nice clean race, because we got that little S-curvy thing going downhill again. That's still coming up, and you know how much the Opafed likes that. So we're gonna get try and get a little bit of a buffer zone, a little bit of a lead over the last car, so that we can take our time going down the hill here and hopefully be able to stay in front of them. So as we're coming around the corner here, we're catching up to it pretty quick. Here we got about a 2 second lead, just over 2 seconds as we're coming down here. Now you watch that lead evaporate as I gingerly scroll down the hill from side to side with this Camaro. We're down to 1 second already. That wasn't fast. Look at the rear view mirror. You can see him coming, and I'm just desperately trying to go faster, but I don't want to run into the walls. That last corner can't come quick enough. Here it is. Once we're around this corner, we can hammer it, and they're not going to catch me anymore. But you noticed, when you're not paying attention, and if there's a section of the track that you're not that good at, then you have to slow down a little bit. So make sure you got yourself a little bit of a buffer zone so you can do that and still finish your race clean and neat, or as clean as possible. This is very enjoyable. I really love driving this car. Like I said, I have had a great time, and I hope you enjoyed the race too. Hope to see you back at Opafed Gaming again real soon. Till the next time, you've been racing with the Opafed.